Now we are going to start with the excretion. So what is excretion? We are going to start with an important aspect of body, that is the excretion. See, we have a lot of waste which are produced in the body. So out of that, there is a common waste, or you can say a large amount of waste in the form of nitrogenous waste which is being excreted out. So excretion is the removal of particularly nitrogenous waste from the body. It is the removal of nitrogenous waste from the body. So now it is not like that we have only one kind of nitrogenous waste present in a body. We found, like if we talk about different organisms, we found different kind of nitrogenous waste. We found different type of nitrogenous waste. Like we have the nitrogenous waste as urea, we have uric acid, we may see ammonia also as an excretory product in many organisms. So like in all of the organisms, mostly the three of them are present. But the thing is that out of these three, one is present in excess and the others are present in the traces. Like for example, urea. Urea is a main excretory product of a man. Urea is a main excretory product of a man. And those organisms which excrete urea as the main excretory product, those organisms are called as ureotelic. They are called as ureotelic. Like uric acid. So uric acid we see is a main nitrogenous waste in birds. And those organisms which excrete uric acid as a main excretory product, they are called as uricotelic. So that means birds are uricotelic. Likewise, those which have ammonia as an excretory product, the main one, that is like insects, they are clubbed under ammonotelic. So that means we have, depending upon that what kind of nitrogenous waste they excrete mainly, they can be ureotelic, they can be uricotelic, and they can be ammonotelic. And likewise we have an examples for that. Ureotelic is man, uricotelic is birds, ammonotelic is insects. So the removal of nitrogenous waste from body is main, you can say, is a main, that is called as excretion. So like, but if you get a question like this, that what is the main function of kidney, because we will be starting with the human excretory system also. So for what we will do is, we will start with the first human excretory system, then in order I will be telling you that what main functions that a kidney as an excretory organ is performing for us. So human excretory system consists of, because first we will be starting with the human ones. So the human excretory system consists of kidney, ureter, urinary bladder and urethra. So I'm just going to draw an excretory system, human excretory system for you. So what we have a pair of kidney from which a tube-like structures originate like this. They open into a pear-shaped structure, and then there is an opening for the excretion of the urine. These are called as kidneys. So a pair of kidneys are present in a body. These tubules are called as ureters. This pear-shaped structure, that is sac-like structure, is called as urinary bladder, and this point from which urine is excreted is called as urethra. So this is the main, you can say, the excretory system of a man. This is the main organs which are involved in the excretory system. So out of so these are all forming a system. So if we talk about the main excretory organ, that comes out to be a kidney. That comes out to be a kidney. So how kidney is, what structure does kidney possess? We are going to do that. So let's say kidney is particularly a bean shaped. Kidney is particularly a bean shaped like this. It is roughly divided into two regions. It is roughly divided into two regions. The outer one is called as cortex. The inner one is called as medulla. It has a, you can say, a cluster of ducts which are present in it like this. So I'm just going to draw like this. These cluster of ducts are called as renal pyramids. See, whenever you get a word renal, that means it is related to kidney. Renal word is related to kidney. So these are renal pyramids, just a collection of many ducts. And the point from where you can see that this tubule, that is the ureter originate, is called as hilum. And this is our ureter. There are two, you can say, the vessels which are associated with the kidney, that is the renal vein and renal artery. Renal vein and renal artery. See, the impure blood which comes to the kidney, comes by renal artery. So it carries impure blood into the kidney. And renal vein is the one which is going to carry a blood after purification from the kidney to different parts. So it is called as renal vein. So here the exception exists, because you know that artery always carry, you can say the artery always carries the pure blood, but in this case it is carrying the impure blood. So the blood that reaches the kidney, which is coming from all of the body to the kidney, is called as, is taken by renal artery, and the purified blood which is taken away from the kidney is taken by renal vein. So here the exception exists for an artery or a vein, otherwise artery always carry a pure blood and vein always carry a impure blood. But this exception exists like it exists in a pulmonary case also, that the vessel which is carrying a pure blood or impure blood to the lungs, there also there is an exception, and here also there is an exception, that the impure one is an artery and the one which is carrying a pure is a vein. So this is what is the structure of kidney. Now we know that like this is a system and this is an organ. So obviously we know that organ is formed of tissue and tissue is finally formed of cell. So the cell of the kidney, that is the structural and functional unit of kidney, is called as nephron. The smallest cell of the kidney is called as nephron. So we say that nephron is structural and functional unit of kidney. I think it's clear that, see, we have a hierarchy in which we have an organism. I'll write here. We have an organism which has organ systems, and organ systems actually consist of different organs. Organs consist of tissues and tissues consist of cell. So obviously if we are talking of any system, so obviously it has an organ like kidney, and if it has an organ, obviously it is going to possess a tissue, and finally it should have a structural and functional unit, that is cell. So here the structural and functional unit of kidney is the nephron. Now what is the structure of nephron? See, just see that how I am drawing, because you have to draw like this. It appears to be slightly difficult, but it's not actually. So just look at the board how I am going to draw it. Form a U-shaped structure like this, then this, then one descending limb, ascending limb, and like this. Similarly, like this you need to form. So this is the structure like this, nephron. Now what is there in it? See, this is a U-shaped structure which contains a tuft of capillaries. This is the tuft of capillaries which is called as glomerulus. That is called as glomerulus. And this U-shaped structure is called as Bowman's capsule. Is called as Bowman's capsule, and both together is called as Malpighian body. Both together is called as Malpighian body. Now the lymph which starts from here and descend like this is called as PCT. This is called as PCT. And what is the full form for that? It is proximal convoluted tubule. And the one which is descending from the side is called as DCT. Again the full form for it is distal, again same thing, convoluted tubule. And the one which is present here is called as collecting tubule. So this is actually the structure of nephron, and this capillary just coil around the nephron because it needs to purify the blood. So it is just coiled around the nephron. So it's like this. And it has been given a special name. This U-shaped structure has a special name, that is the loop of Henle or Henle's loop. you can call it as, and it performs an important function because this is the region from where the actual, you can say, the concentration of urine take place. Like whether your urine is going to be dilute or concentrated depends upon this region. We'll be studying when we'll be doing the mechanism, then we'll be taking into consideration. But for this moment, you should know that this U-shaped structure, that is the descending limb of PCT, and ascending limb of DCT is called as loop of Henle. So these kind of structures are present in kidneys, and it is actually divided into this kind of region like this. See, it is divided like this. This upper portion is present in cortex and the lower one is present in medulla of kidney. It's present like this. Suppose you have a kidney like this. So this is the U-shaped structure. This is the PCT, loop of Henle in the cortex. Then again to cortex, and then in medulla we have the collecting tubule. So like this, many nephrons are present in the kidney, and lot of collecting tubules of different nephrons just unite together to form the bigger tubules, and finally more bigger tubules, and they all pour their secretion into renal pyramids, and then they try to extract all the waste and get directed into a ureter. So now we'll be taking up the mechanism of excretion. So I think you got it, like what is the actual system that consists of 2 kidneys, ureter, bladder, urethra, and then kidney, outer portion cortex, medulla, lot of tuft of the vessels, that is renal pyramids, hilum from where ureter originate, and this is the ureter. And structural functional unit is nephron, that is the malaphagian body, Bowman capsule with glomerulus, PCT, DCT, CT, and this is divided like this, upper portion in cortex and lower in medulla, and this U-shaped is loop of Henle. So now it's time to start with that how the urine formation take place. So we'll be taking in the next topic. So just try to draw these diagrams first.